I'm Greg.
And I'm Billy.
And we're the Fuji guys. Today's video is our first look at our brand new F900 camera. This is a really stylish high-end compact. Features a full 20 times super wide angle zoom lens. You know, there's lots of cameras now that are relatively small and that have a good zoom. This camera, because of some unique technologies like our EXR technology, phase detection autofocus, which you usually only find in DSLRs or other more expensive cameras, and other wireless features and things like this, really truly makes this camera a cut above your typical point and shoot long zoom camera. It's a very solid camera. We're showing the camera today in 4 different colors. Depending which country you're in, you might see it available in some of these colors, all of these colors, or even other colors that aren't featured here. But really the F900, when we go through today this first look video, you're going to see all the bells and buttons and whistles here. Billy's going to tell you exactly which what does what. And so it doesn't matter which color you're looking at, they're all going to be the same. And we'll go into greater detail into some top features videos. But give us a first look around this camera, Billy.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, first off, you know, the EXR cameras is always going to be, you know, high-end technology cameras. You know, the latest and greatest that Fuji's sort of developing, and we are great innovators in digital camera technology. We put in this, and Greg mentioned earlier that phase detection autofocus system, so it's going to be super fast for focusing. Our EXR technology is also well known for giving you increased, high ISO with very low noise. So it's a great low light shooter. This is definitely a high-end compact zoom camera, not like some of the other cameras there out in the marketplace. This is actually a premium piece for us. And just looking at the front of the camera, of course, you have the Fujinon lens. It's a 20 times zoom wide angle lens, of course. And again, just right beside it, it's our EXR logo. It doesn't do anything, but it's just to tell you that, hey, you got a good camera there. Right below the lens, you got your stereo microphones. The camera offers full HD video and even at 60 frames per second recording. So, you know, if you're into that, you know, whether you want to do maybe slow motion video afterward by slowing down to 60 frames, it's going to look a lot more smoother. And again, beside that, of course, you got your AF assist lamp that helps to, shoot a beam out in low light situations, so to help the camera focus. You got that little grip again. It's a rubberized grip, and this whole texture on this camera is really nice. It has this like rubberized plastic, but it's not even plastic. It's sort of a rubberized finish, and it's really nice. The colors are great as well. And again, depending on the region that you're buying it, you might be available in all these colors or even more. Okay, looking on the the side of this camera, you got the flash pop-up button. You push that to pop up the flash. On the opposite side of this camera, you have access to the connected door cover, where it gives you access to the AV cable connector, the USB, and the HDMI, so you can hook it up to an HD TV. You also got the eyelid strap holder there, where you can actually attach a hand strap. It's included, of course, with this camera. On the bottom of the camera, you got the speakers. You got your standard tripod mount, and again, it fits any standard tripod out in the marketplace. On the top of this camera, you got your zoom controls, zooming in, zooming out. In the middle of that, you got your shutter button, so you can push again halfway down to pre-focus and all the way down to take the photo. Now, seeing this, the camera's an EXR camera, it's quite fast, and generally I always tell people push halfway down and push all the way down to take the photo. But with the speed of this camera, with the face detection focusing, you can push all the way down, and it's going to be really fast for taking pictures, especially of vacations and of kids running at you and whatnot. Right beside you got your function button. Function button gives you access to things like the ISO control or any other customized function that you want to set this to be, you can. Beside it, you got your on and off switch. And just beside that, you have a little logo that says Wi-Fi. It's because the camera does have a wireless module in this, so that you can connect this to a smartphone or even to your home network to download images directly to that. And again, this is sort of the future of digital cameras in terms of connectivity. You can be at home,
connecting them with the rest of your world,
turning it on. It detects your network, your images download, and then the camera shuts off afterwards in that sense. So it's great for that. Of course, you guys also get directly connected to your smartphone via the iOS or Android with an app that we provide for free of charge, and allows you to share the images at that point, to social media websites. Okay, looking at the back of this camera now, I guess, you can see, of course, the screen. It's a high resolution 3-inch screen. Beside that, you have a slanted mode dial, so it's very ergonomic, and it allows you to rotate the modes. Again, you got full manual controls, you got aperture, shutter priorities, including on, of course, EXR technology mode that not only configures the lighting that you're shooting at, but also the type of scene that you're shooting at, and it really detects a whole lot. And it's like having a sort of a built-in photographer in your camera, knowing exactly what you're shooting. Then you got some cool advanced modes where you can go through things like panoramic modes and pro low light modes and whatnot. And again, we'll cover this through our top features, so you can take a look at that for some of that functionality. And of course, you know, one last thing is sort of that Instagram effect where you have these creative filters.
Yeah.
So you can isolate a color and make everything else black and white. And again, the video is going to show you that later on. Below that, you got your playback button. You can hold that down for a few seconds when the camera's off, and you can actually turn on the camera to review images without having the lens extend. So if you want to share your images, you can do it that way. Right beside it, of course, is your dedicated video record button so that you can record full HD video. Pushing it starts it, pushing it stops it. And in fact, what's great about our technology is that you can actually push the shutter button during the video and take photos. And again, we'll see some of that in action later on. Then below that, you got your directional pad. Around it, of course, you have this rotating command dial. It helps you adjust settings, whether you're shooting an aperture or shutter or full manual controls, you can adjust that. And whether you're reviewing images, you can rotate that. In addition, built in within that, of course, there's your directional pad, up, down, left, right. It allows you to navigate the menus. During shooting, you have access to the flash modes, the self-timer, the macro, and even your exposure compensation. And in playback, of course, pushing up gives you the instant delete function. Below that is your display back button, and it allows you to obviously get out of menu systems, but also in shooting mode, in the shooting live mode, of course, you can toggle between the different displays, having information, no information, the grid lines, which I always kind of keep on with mine to help me with the horizon, as well as to use sort of the rule of thirds for composition. Right beside that is the new E function button. You may have heard this on the XF1 before. The E function button allows you to double up this directional pad. So currently right now by default, the macros, self-timers as I mentioned earlier, but when you push it, a virtual screen comes up, and now these buttons can be configured to other options, whether it's increasing dynamic range or film simulation actions, quick access, things like that. So that's kind of a cool button.
I should just mention quickly, and you'll go through this in the advanced features, but that is customizable. So
that's right.
You can kind of create that secondary virtual screen with the functionality that you want to have quick access to. So that's a great first look. I love this camera. It feels amazing, as you mentioned, that almost rubbery type feeling. That's really right. Gives it a feeling of quality. Of course, the wireless transfer functions brings this connected camera into your other consumer electronic products like your smartphone, your computer, and all those other things that are wireless these days. So that's fantastic. It's really up to date. So please check out our top features video, because there's a lot to go over on this camera. It is packed with top features. So it'd be interesting to go through some of those demonstrations. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out the rest of our videos as well. Follow Billy on Twitter. Until next video, I'm Greg.
And I'm Billy.
And we're the Fuji Guys.